WWE and the rest of professional wrestling have been host to many memorable factions over the decades. Groups like the Bullet Club, the NWO and the Main Event Mafia were oftentimes the biggest thing going on within their respective promotions. WWE alone has a long history with groups being created and taking over the promotion. While tag teams and factions don't always last long in WWE, they often can make a massive impact in that short time together, ranging from teams of 3 to a group of 7. Let's look back and see just a few of the most dominant and popular factions that were created and used within the WWE. I am the Wrestling Guy, and here are the 10 greatest factions in WWE history. Number 10. The New Day. The New Day took a group of mid-card wrestlers who seemed to have no direction and formed one of the most successful, loved and merchandise shifting groups in WWE history. When Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston and Big E came together, little did people imagine the success they would go on to establish as part of the New Day. Initially introduced as a comedy act, the New Day found its footing after turning heel. It helped that all 3 members of the faction are talented wrestlers, from being multiple-time tag team champions to Big E and Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship. And the group selling so many different things for WWE, there's an absolute certainty there's a Hall of Fame spot in their future. If one is wondering exactly how popular they were, the fact that a pro wrestling faction managed to sell breakfast cereal should give them a fair clue. Number 9. The Hart Foundation. Formed in 1997 in correlation with Bret Hart's heel turn, the Hart Foundation quickly became a centerpiece of WWE booking. The Hitman, his brother Owen Hart, brothers-in-law Davey Boy Smith and Jim Neidhart, and family friend Brian Pillman have been underrated in the story of WWE's come-from-behind win in the Monday Night Wars, with many forgetting they helped shift the tone of the company's programming. Whether they're the top heels in America or beloved heroes north of the border in their native Canada, the Hart Foundation ruled over WWE for one unforgettable summer. Number 8. The Nexus. The Nexus was formed in 2010 following the first season of NXT, in which members Wade Barrett, David Otunga, Skip Sheffield, Justin Gabriel, Heath Slater, Michael Tarver and briefly Daniel Bryan wreaked havoc over WWE for months. The group would start their reign of dominance by targeting John Cena and other established stars on the main roster such as Edge and Chris Jericho. In their rookie year they main evented SummerSlam, as well as Justin Gabriel and David Otunga capturing the tag team titles. Wade Barrett was the leader of the group and elevated himself and the others to main event status. He was even granted multiple opportunities to capture the WWE Championship. Although this group wasn't necessarily used to its full potential, the Nexus maintained dominance for the best part of a year and will forever go down as one of the great groups of the 2010 era. Number 7. The Wyatt Family. While most think of the Wyatt family as a trio consisting of Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, the cult-like faction also included Braun Strowman for a short period in 2015. The group were introduced in 2012 in NXT before being brought up to the main roster in 2013 to clash with The Shield. They would go their separate ways for a while before reforming in 2015 with Braun Strowman, and they would pick up from where they left off with their dominance of the WWE. Unfortunately, the group didn't receive as much attention in terms of championship glory as they would have liked. They did stick in the minds of many as the WWE Universe for a long time and will continue to throughout time. The uniqueness and obscurity of the group separated themselves from any other group at the time and made them a real standout in the WWE roster. Number 6. The Undisputed Era. The Undisputed Era are without a doubt the greatest faction in NXT history, and by a distance. At one point they held all of the brand's male titles. Adam Cole would become a multi-time NXT champion, Roderick Strong a North American champion, and Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly would hold the tag team gold. As well as that, they helped to bring back War Games and made the stipulation their own by dominating it, while they also won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, all while picking up countless awards from outside WWE as well. They were just booked as a faction not to be messed with. While they could play the cowardly heels perfectly, they also had a pack dog mentality of attacking with numbers, which led them to being feared by everybody. They didn't have one big man like a faction normally does, but the Undisputed Era didn't need it. All of them were able to be taken seriously in the eyes of fans, and that's due to how they were presented. It was clear that they were the best and that they believed in their own message, which helped to make them the top stars in NXT for such a long period of time. Number 5. The Judgment Day. The Judgment Day had an interesting start as a faction when it originated at WrestleMania 38, when Damian Priest joined forces with Edge, and then Rhea Ripley would soon be added to the ranks several weeks later at WrestleMania Backlash. The group originally had a supernatural edge, however this version of the faction wasn't over with the masses and looked doomed to failure. Recognising this, WWE changed course and booked Finn Balor to join and displaced Edge from the group. Following from this down the line, Dominic Mysterio and then later JD McDonough would join the group and would add to the group's dominance. The Judgment Day is one of the main focal points of Raw, and during their tenures in the group, Balor and Priest have held tag team gold, Ripley the Women's World title, and Mysterio the NXT North American title twice. Priest is also the current World Heavyweight Champion. After almost 2 years as a group, the Judgment Day seems set to remain a cornerstone of the promotion for many months to come. Number 4, the Bloodline. This faction may not be the most decorated in terms of the number of championships it's won, but it has the most dominant champions in the company's history. This group houses the longest modern day title reign in Roman Reigns, and also housed the longest tag team title reign in courtesy of the Usos. 2 groundbreaking achievements in a relatively short space of time. The Bloodline is currently the longest running meta story that the WWE is telling, and for nearly a year, culminating at WrestleMania 40, it was among the best told long-term stories ever told. This storyline elevated the undervalued tag team titles to the main event of WrestleMania 39 for the first time ever, and made Sami Zayn a bigger star than he'd ever felt in his main roster run. The faction has also seen as many as 5 people, including the Honorary Usos, do the best character work of their lives, lending such drama and emotion to segments that people have rediscovered their interest in the product via them. Number 3, Evolution. Evolution reinvigorated Ric Flair's career, gave Triple H a new direction, and launched the highly successful careers of both Randy Orton and Batista. The faction was carefully picked with a veteran mentor, a heel leader, and 2 newcomers, and the core motive of this faction was to win as many titles as they can, and little did they care for means. Being full-blown heels made them easy targets for the audience to boo, garnering reactions from the crowd every time they appeared on televised segment. The past, present, and future of WWE in one team made for a very intriguing dynamic, and while Randy and Batista would go on to scale great heights, they also won gold whilst part of this group. In fact, there was a point in time every member of Evolution held championship belts simultaneously. Triple H was the World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton held the Intercontinental Championship, while Batista and Ric Flair held up the World Tag Team titles. Number 2, The Shield. Not many factions in professional wrestling can boast about all its members going on to win the top championships of their promotion. The Shield, albeit without one of their members in the WWE anymore, can proudly stake its claim amongst the greatest factions in professional wrestling, let alone WWE. The 3 men would hone their characters very well to create a well-defined dynamic. Dean Ambrose was the unhinged lunatic, Seth Rollins was the calculated architect, and Roman Reigns was the powerhouse. Clad in all black, appearing through the crowd and wrecking on everyone they felt like, the faction quickly made an impact and got the wrestling world talking. This is what made this faction a breath of fresh air at a time not too many stables were succeeding in the company. Number 1, D-Generation X. During their time, D-Generation X was without a doubt one of the hottest acts going around. A programming fit for its time, D-Generation X featuring Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Rick Rude and Chyna captured the imagination of fans for being super cool. They'd later gain X-Pac, Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, and lose HBK and Rude, but the group remained strong. They were neither heel or babyface, and managed to instead capture the middle ground with extreme ease given their cutting-edge antics and unbridled promos. It's difficult to put into words their impact on the Attitude Era of WWE as well as professional wrestling as a whole, but one thing that is for certain is the group will forever go down as one of the greatest of all time. As always guys, this list is of my own personal opinion, and there are plenty of other options that could have been included. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to see more videos like this on the channel, please feel free to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.